What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ride Dad channel, or welcome back. Either way, glad to have you. We're talking about my chain kit, specifically the one from Speed Kings on my M8 Lowrider S. Ignore that, we'll talk about that in a second. Let's roll the intro.
Riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a feeling you down.
Chain kit from Speed Kings. I went with the 24 front sprocket, which is kind of the typical, and then the rear sprocket I went with a 53 tooth. Let's start her up. Let's get going. We're having a little BMX festival over here. All right. Let's get going here. We'll pull out. So this is, I literally rode it from my house to here, which is pretty close. This little park, just to kind of do this video for you guys. I have literally not opened up the throttle. I've ridden so quietly, or calmly rather, that it would have been impossible for me to see, what kind of difference the chain kit had, and I didn't even go that high of a speed. So you don't have to worry about any biased opinions. I have literally not touched this bike pretty much. So let's get out to the main road. God, glad for the festival, but geez, this must really be annoying for the people that have to live here. People constantly around their houses and such, but I guess you know that you have to deal with that when you get the house over there. So alrighty, here we go. Let's see how she feels. She does pull. She does pull a little bit harder now. I mean, in theory, kind of. Oh, this is a whole new bike. It is so much more responsive, and I don't know if that's more so just the fact that I went from a belt to a chain, or if it's because of the gearing that I picked. But this is great. When we get out to the main road again, we'll have some fun. Alrighty. Oh yeah, that does feel nice. That does feel nice. Alright, so let's talk about why I decided to get this chain kit. Besides the obvious of, the increase in felt torque, I don't know what you want to call it, the increase in acceleration. The main reason I got this is to look cool. Let's be real, having a chain kit on your bike not only looks cool, separates it apart from a lot of other typical Harleys and a lot of typical builds, but it also makes it look like you did it yourself, which in my case, I did it myself. So in Florida, I really don't know any other, at least where I'm at, bikes that have chain kits on them. And I don't know if I touched on this on my first, my install video, which, by the way, if you haven't seen that install video, definitely click it. I'll link it in the description, and in the beginning of this video, I would have had a little card come up in the corner. But I don't know if I touched on it, but in addition to the performance benefits and everything, it is way easier to work on a chain if anything were to happen. So let's say, God forbid, something happens and your belt snaps, like something hits it or whatever. Something happens and your belt is out of commission and you're wherever. You can't fix that sucker. So the only way to fix that is going to be basically to have your entire primary come off, which means you have to drain the oil in the primary, you have to get new oil, you have to put everything all back on, and to put a new belt on, you have to take the rear swing arm off, pretty much. So think about how awful all of that sounds to do. Now, on the contrary, I understand belts really don't, there's really no issues with belts pretty much ever. However, if anything were to happen, that's what you're looking at. So in addition to all the performance benefits you get from a chain, if something were to happen with your chain, all you have to do is get a new chain. And you can put that on. You can just snake it through because the chain is not a belt, and you can take the links off and undo it and stuff. You can take that or you can put it on while your primary is still on. You don't lose any fluids. Everything is kosher with your bike, so to say. So that's good. So here's the thing with this. I went with a slightly quicker acceleration, slightly less top speed setup, which means theoretically my RPMs should be a little bit higher, cruising speeds, getting up to highways and everything. So unfortunately, I'm smoking some pork shoulder at my house, and I don't have the time to go. I got to spray it every hour. I don't have the time to do a highway test because the highway's too far away from me. But I can tell you, going 50-55, which is the speed limit here, obviously you can see everyone's pretty much going the speed limit. My RPMs are a little bit higher. Nothing bad. Actually, for my style of riding, I think that's actually a good thing, to keep the RPMs a little bit higher than typical for me. I have a tendency to, while I'm just cruising, lower the RPMs more than they should, being that I'm in 6th gear sometimes when I probably should be in 5th when I should be in 4th, kind of thing. I don't know why I have a tendency to do that. I've been trying to keep more of a handle on it and actually focus on not trying to do that. But I can tell you, at least in my experience, these M8 motors, I know my buddy Brian will concur, they seem to like slightly higher RPMs to keep the oil happy in there. So that being said, it is nowhere near high enough that you'd be looking at overheating or anything weird or sacrificing too much top speed. I can guarantee you with this setup I'll have more than enough top speed for whatever I need. But even just the quick acceleration is definitely there with this chain kit. It is a night and day difference. I am in love with this thing, and honestly it wasn't that much. I mean, we got them when they were on sale, thankfully, so we have even less money put into them. But speaking of sale, I told you guys I would touch on, in my install video, if you watch that, I told you I would touch on my customer service experience with Speed Kings. So, originally, the Star style chain kit was like $520 or $500 something, and the 9-spoke, which is the one I wound up getting, was like $400 something. I saw that they had a sale, and I was like, oh, let me just check for the hell of it, see if their chain kits are back in stock, because they're like habitually out of stock. They're so popular, everybody always gets them all the time. So I just checked, and they happen to have it. I just happen to have some money set aside, and I wound up getting it. I texted my buddy Brian, Motos and Mullets, and I was like, hey, chain kits are back in stock. They have a coupon. I got it, and I bought the Star kit at the time because I figured let me ball all out. I'll get the $100 more with the coupon. I still saved a lot of money. Whatever. I'll get that one. He is frugal and smart about his choices, so he got the cheaper version, even though they do the exact same thing. And that was it. You got different color schemes or whatever, but that was the end of the story. So fast forward to 2 weeks. Neither of us heard anything back from shipping. I thought it was a little weird because if they shipped to order, they wouldn't say out of stock, I would assume, but we let it go. And then Brian got a confirmation email telling him that his had shipped and it was going to be there in like 2-3 days, 3 or 4 days, whatever the heck it was. And I still didn't get it. I let it wait like another day or two. I think I let it wait like 2 days, and then I wound up calling them. They didn't answer their phone, and I left a message, didn't call me back, so I wound up calling them a few times because at this point I just wanted to know. I wanted to make sure because on the site, my chain kit that I ordered showed out of stock. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't getting left behind. I've had companies somehow forget my order before. I just wanted to make sure I got on top of it before I was completely out of what I wanted to get, since I had already been waiting so long, obviously. So they answered. I forget the guy's name, but it was a guy I spoke to all throughout this whole story. I'm assuming like their customer service or their phone guy or whatever. So he said, oh yeah, we oversold on that, so you can either get the other one, the 9-spoke that's still in stock, or you can wait for this one to be in stock. Should be about 2 or 3 weeks. So at first I said, all right, let me just wait. And then the more I think about it, the more I'm like, well, I have pretty big bags on this bike anyway. Oh god, this first and second gear are beautiful. This completely changed the characteristics of the bike. So yeah, I told him, let me just wait. And then I think about it, and I'm like, well, I have big bags on my bike anyway. You're not even going to see, I got black because it's all blacked out for hardware. So it's not like I got like a chrome or a gold or some other crazy accent color or something. So why am I spending $100 more for something and waiting a long time? Because I was really excited to get it put on the bike and excited to do a video on it and stuff. So I called him back the same day, like an hour later. I was like, hey, let me just get the the other one, the cheaper one. He's like, oh, they're the same price. I'm like, nah, I don't know what they are now, but I can tell you when we ordered, they were not, because I know somebody that ordered the same day or whatever. And he was like, okay. Oh, and he said they never emailed or anything like that, just because he didn't give a reason why they didn't say that they were running behind. So I was just going to supposedly wait forever for this. So I was like, all right, whatever, let me do that. He's like, okay, I'll check, you know, if there's any price difference, I'll make sure you get taken care of. And I said, okay. So a day goes by, and I ask more information from my buddy Brian. I asked him to send me a screenshot of his order and everything. That way I can actually do the math and double check and see. Take his order number down so I got proof of it or whatever. And it is. It's about like a $96 or a $94 difference, which is a substantial amount of money. So I call him back. I was like, hey, this is the price. I have the order number of the guy that, you know, I mean, he's my best buddy. So I was like, I know, you know, when he ordered like an hour after I ordered it, same day, same coupon and everything. I knew they were cheaper. This is the proof that they were cheaper. And he's like, oh, I don't know why they should be like that. Let me talk to my boss and I'll call you right back. So that was like midday-ish. He didn't call me back at all that day. The next day, he didn't call me back at all either. So I waited till the end of the day, and I went ahead and called him again several times, because they're really bad about answering their phone sometimes there for some reason. So I called him and I was like, hey, you never called me the other day. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry. Boss is just walked in. Let me talk to him real quick and see what we can do. I was like, all right. He's like, I'll call you right back. I said, okay. Never called me back again. And then I think in there one day I let a whole day go or whatever, so it was like an extra day of not calling me back. So I was obviously at this point getting frustrated, not only with the customer service experience, but the fact that, you know, I spent $100 more for the same exact product that my buddy got me, or that my buddy got for him. So I called back again. This is, you know, the third or fourth day or whatever. He answers again. I was like, hey, this, you know, you never called me back. And he's like, yeah, hold. I think he either put me on hold or something, but a little bit of time went by, and he was back on the line, or called me back or whatever within the same day. And he's like, all right, so I talked to my boss. We're not sure why that happened. They should have both been the same price, which now they are both the higher price. So I don't know if it was a glitch in the system or what. Either way, I'm not paying $100 more for the same product that my buddy just bought, literally the exact same thing, in addition to all this customer service issue I've been having with them. So he was like, yeah, I talked to him, and we can't refund you the money. The way our system works, we can't do that. We could just give you a store credit. And keep in mind, this entire time, they never offered to, like, hey, we'll give you a free shirt, we'll give you a hat, we'll give you maybe some stickers, you know, like whatever, we'll give you a % off. They never offered anything at all. And I wasn't even asking for anything extra. I was literally just asking to not be overcharged $100 for the same product. But, so I said, I voiced my concern, and I was polite, but I was like, hey, I'm going to be truthful with you. I'm really frustrated at, you know, how I feel like I'm being mistreated as a customer from the customer service standpoint of the company. And quite frankly, I would really prefer a refund, because I don't look forward to spending more money with you guys, even though you have really good products. I just don't look forward to spending more money with you guys based on how I was treated during this interaction. You know, he was apologizing or whatever, and still the whole time, long story short, they said they could only do a refund. And I was like, well, if my choice is, or sorry, not a refund, they could only do a store credit. So if my choice is basically a gift card for $90 or literally overpaying by $90, then I guess I'm going to take that. I mean, I'm not going to not take it. It's my money that's being thrown away. So, and never, and again, I never asked for anything, because I'm not that kind of person, but they never offered anything. No extra shirts, I mean, literally didn't offer anything. Now, that all being said, the products that Speed Kings come out with are quality products. They are very, very nice products. I have no issue with the products that they have. Very happy with the chain kit, very happy with everything else I've ever ordered for them. Just this one experience. So yeah, I told you guys I would explain my customer service experience. I didn't, you know, cuss at them on the phone or yell at them or anything like that. I just wanted to be upfront and honest with you guys, because I feel like you deserve, as people that are watching my reviews and my installs and everything like that, you guys deserve to know what actually happens, and I don't want to sugarcoat anything for you in case something happens to you similar, and then I feel like I led you astray if that's not something you wanted to deal with. But anywho, that's about it. Chain kit's great. So the wax that is all over the stock chain is just, I mean, it's on heaps over there. So my plan is to do this initial ride with it, do like not a break-in, but, you know, like a little break-in as far as the wax getting spun around and everything. Wash the bike, strip it with Purple Power, like a high pH soap. So I strip everything off of the bike and really get as much wax, that crap wax, off of it as possible. Clean the chain with my clean chain, or my my clean chainer, my chain cleaner at home, and the brush. Really clean it up good over the next week whenever I get time, and then obviously coat it with the lube, and then re-wax and reseal my bike with that that wax sealant I use all the time. So that is all she wrote. As far as the fairing, if you guys have seen me do talks about my fairing and what was going on in the windshield and everything like that, currently still trying to get it to work. They were super back ordered with, are you gonna go? No, yes, okay, I'm gonna go. Feel the power of the chain kit. All right, so they were back ordered by a long time. So they should be out this week. I actually went with clear instead of black this time, and yeah, so I think the clear will offset it nicely, and I figure I'm going to be painting it anyway, so it really doesn't matter what color it is currently. And if anything happens, at least I can see through it. So whatever, we'll see. I gotta tell you guys, I'm really digging the look of the bike without a fairing on it too. I like both styles, and I mean, obviously I spent the money, so I want to make it work, which I think we can. I've been talking with them back and forth a lot, and I'll keep you guys updated when I get the new windshield and I try to fit it. But I think honestly you guys have heard me babble enough. I'm going to do an initial review at some point on these Flow Motorsports MX levers, the brake and the clutch side I got. These things are fantastic. I love these. They are so super skinny, slender. They're like me, you know, 2 years ago when I lost a bunch of weight. Now, not anymore. So, all right, guys, I really do appreciate you watching. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, please check them out. The build series for this bike, the build series for my Honda Grom that's back in the garage at the home. They're both on my description for every video that I put, as well as a playlist on my actual YouTube channel if you're going on the channel. And, you know, I got an Instagram, so if you want to check my Instagram out and check out, or send me a DM, rather, if you want to send me a DM. And as always, guys, if you see me in person, please say, hey, you can get these stickers that I only either trade people for stickers with, or I give you a sticker in person. Don't forget to check out my merch. I do have some Ryan Dad merch. You can get anything from a fanny pack and a pillow to a towel and a shirt or whatever. The stuff is actually really comfortable. I just gave one to my father-in-law. He said the material was really good. He was a fan of that brand he used for other stuff in the past. So, good to know. Alrighty, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of the customer service aspect. Let me know what you think of the chain kit. Do you have a chain kit? Do you want a chain kit? Whatever. Send me a comment. Let's chat it out. And until the next time, guys, ride safe. Have fun. Dad, out.